Hey guys, Rabbit Brew here, back with another Starcraft Broodwar Remastered cast, and today we again have a compilation series for you. Some pro smack games. They are PVTs, they're really short, which means some really cool rush builds, even some cheesy things are bound to have happened. I'm really looking forward to this one. I recently did a cast like this between two of the same players. They played 3 games. One of the players in that was this guy named Minus. I've been doing some reading up on Wikipedia. This could be Rush, the ASL champion from a while ago, but I do not know for sure. So I do not want to say anything other than these are definitely 2 Korean pros that are practicing. Looks like the map is Heartbreak Ridge. It is a PVT. So let's get into it. We're going to have 3 games, all different players every time, but all very fun aggro PVTs, which I am actually always quite a big fan of. So we have Jaehoon coming up, we have Fantasy coming up, so lots to look forward to in this 3-game compilation for you. Alright, so we have a pylon and a gateway coming in a minute and 14 seconds, which is very good. Optical mining from our Protoss. You'd expect nothing more from these professionals. And we are just looking to start with a very basic depot racks opening from our Terran. You can see he builds the racks here so that it has the zealot tight wall for any early pressure he's likely to receive. Okay, so today has been compilation day. I have recorded 4 other compilation videos today. I've been having a lot of fun with these compilations. This will probably be the last compilation I do for some time. That being said, I do have another best of 3, but it's not going to be a cheese or rush. It's just going to be a series played between 2 players. Jaehoon will potentially be featuring in that as well, but we haven't yet decided on the pipeline. For now, just focusing on the fun that we can look forward to today. Okay, so still very normal so far. It's just a basic cybernetics core. One of the coolest things I saw in the previous Rush PVT set that I put together was a Robo Reaver drop build where he went gas first. It was just absolutely wicked, really cool. Throwing down the second gateway here, so definitely looks like he's going to be applying some pressure, maybe a 1021. Difficult to say. It is range starting immediately, so it does look like he's going to be putting some pressure down. And our Terran is just building his factory. Very normal timings here from both players. Skipping the zealots. Every single PVT I had in this previous series that I passed had as an early zealot in it, but this Protoss, Mr. Moonlight, Neox Moonlight, has decided that he does not need the early zealots. He's just going with what must have been a 1015 because he's only on 17 supply. So 1015 with range coming in, so there's definitely going to be some pressure to be expected from our Protoss. So how does our Terran respond? We'll try again. Throws down a machine shop. It does have already got 4 Marines here, so I think if he can get his bunker in place and get his command center going, he could find himself in a very commanding position. It looks like our Protoss has actually cut probes at 15, so this is looking very all-in-ish. He has a probe here. I don't know what he's going to do with him. It doesn't really make sense to build the nexus if you're not making probes. So it just looks like a basically 2-gate goon all in. Let's see how we go. I don't see a robo. I don't see anything. Command center is being built in the main to potentially be floated up. A scouting SCV has been tracked down by this Dragoon and picked off. So our first 3 goons are coming into the game here, and they're going to have a pretty good time against basically 1 tank and 4 Marines. So these guys move up to this little high ground position, which kind of just goes to the back side of this natural. It's one of the unique features of this map, a very old map, Heartbreak Ridge. Okay, so Protoss comes in and sees, okay, so you don't have an expansion, so what am I going to do? Robo coming in here now, so maybe some Reaver play. So really using the Marines to buffer there beautifully. It's difficult for the goons to shoot uphill. Suddenly now there's 5 goons though. There's only 1 tank. If he focuses down this tank, he's in a world of pain. That Marine is gone. He's going to move up the hill there. This tank has got nowhere to go. Dead tank. And now he's got 1 tank and a wall. He could actually fire down this barracks. I pretty much think he's going to go all in here. The command center is still on its way. He's researching siege mode, so he may just siege up behind this barracks. But I don't know. It's all this. Okay, so he pulls away when he hears the death noise. Siege mode, death noise. Okay, so shuttle on the way, robotics facility on the way, potentially a bulldog or reaver drop. Both are viable solutions. I see the zealots. I think it's going to be a bulldog, and that's how he's going to try and finish this game off. The tech, the robo, and the support bay have been built out of the main, so it's unscoutable, which is actually very clever, nice and sneaky. So the reaver's on its way. The zealots are beautifully done. So he's already got the shuttle in play here to ferry these dragoons into the main. So they're going to move across here, or they're just going to wait. Oh, that's so clever. He's not showing his hand. He's just slowly but surely ferrying all these units across. There's so much room between the main and here. Is he going to have the confidence now to try and float this command center? I think he is, and he's going to get totally blindsided. This is absolutely gorgeous. In go the zealots. In goes the reaver. The timing on this is so good. In comes the shuttle. It's going to drop probably here in the mineral line or close to it. The goons are going to come in for support, and I think our Terran is just going to go, well done, sir. You totally cheesed me, and I am wrecked. Okay, so in we come. Down go the zealots. Down go the goons. It's 4 tanks versus 2 zealots. There's 2 goons here that are not really involved in the fight yet. The reaver comes down, kills a fair number of SCVs. Nice shot. Here come the rest of the goons to get involved in the fight now. There's actually only 1... Okay, now there's 2 tanks left, but the reaver gets dropped, picked up again beautifully. Really good reaver shuttle micro there. Knocks down the very last tank, and he's got nothing left here. Terran GG's, a beautiful, cheesy 1 base drop build, beautifully played by our Protoss. He takes it for Team Protoss in this 3-game compilation. Let's see what happens in Game 2. Okay, so Game 2 is Fantasy versus Jaeun. So another PVT, this time on Fighting Spirit. Man, I'm having so much fun with these 1-base builds and these fun and very tilting things that Protoss can do. It's not always one-way traffic. In the previous compilation, we saw a beautiful 2-fac executed by the Terran player. He did a 5 tank, 6 marine push. And it was so scary, man. Must be something that was done back in this time. And I think Protoss players have subsequently figured out how to thwart it, because otherwise I'm pretty sure it would be very relevant and very common today. But the one I saw, wow, it was really quite something. Anyway, I'm enjoying these PVTs, man. I'm wondering what we're going to get today. So we're on Fighting Spirit. We do know that the middle of the map is certainly a popular spot to throw down some proxies. But it doesn't look like any proxy openings at this stage from our players. So Jaeun is going to be the Protoss. Fantasy, of course, is going to be the Terran. I just recently cast a PVT of Fantasy against Bisu. It was on Destination, and wow, what an incredible performance by Fantasy. Basically, I don't want to sound unkind to Bisu, but he gave Bisu a hiding. It was just such a convincing performance. It was unbelievable. If you haven't watched that game already, you got to find it. It is absolute cracker. Anyways, we are building a barracks, we are building a gas. Everything is pretty normal in Terran land. Protoss, though, has got a big pair of bulls. He's going nexus first. It's close spawns. When this gets scouted, how is he going to respond is the question of the day. Is a nexus first considered an economic cheese? Is economic cheese even a thing? I find myself wondering that quite a lot. So you've basically gone nexus first. Is that considered to be a cheesy type of thing to do? Who knows? Anyway, probe comes in for the scout, finds his opponent first. Let's see, is Fantasy going to do the close spawn first? Yes, it looks like he is. So that is going to give him such good information, because he's going to know about this Nexus first really, really early. I think if you're Protoss, you're always hoping for a second or a last scout. To get first scouted when you've Nexus first, man, it's just hectic. So down goes the cybernetics core. He's not transferred any workers onto... Transferred one worker onto gas. Now he's got 2 on gas. 2 only though. I'm sure he ideally needs this to become 3. He's pushing out a zealot. He's adding a second gateway. So this is a more conventional Nexus first that I see, where the Protoss player realizes, look, I'm going to be in trouble. And here we go. So Protoss, Terran has scouted this. He started a bunker. Here come the boys. Here come the boys. Okay, so 1 SCV against 3 probes. Here comes the Zealot though. Nice timing on the Zealot there. He might be able to hold off this attempt to kill the Nexus because he's got himself some units. He's getting that second gate. Another Zealot is coming out. So I think his timing of pushing out some Zealots to help him against this attempt to destroy the Nexus is pretty good. But the next unit coming out of these gateways will be a Goon. I'm pretty sure he's going to start range as well. Let's see if he's still got... So he's got all of his probes now on gas. That SCV's gone down. This bunker still hasn't gone up. If it does come up though, the Nexus is going to fall. Jayon seems really, really determined though to protect this Nexus as much as what he can and to keep the Marines out of the bunker for as long as possible. There's only 2 left. He's trying to counter it though. Body blocking with the probes. Nicely done. No Marines have gotten to this bunker. This bunker remains totally empty. He gets 1 in. Oh no, another repair on this is real. But the Vultures have arrived. The Vultures are going to pick off a lot of probes. And I think his attempts to hold this now are probably going to be thwarted. We have a dead Nexus. That was really, really close. I think Fantasy must have had his heart in his mouth for a little while there. Suddenly though, we've got 2 gate production here. We're bringing in some goons. These goons need range. Range hasn't started yet. I think he needs to get range going. Okay, so it is now just popped up into the production tab, but range is a long, long way off here, guys. So we have a dead Nexus. We have an action-packed PVT. One of the most common things I guess you see on ladder is a scouted Nexus first. Terran tries to break it, and then even if Terran does break it, it's pretty much even Stevens. Okay, so he seems to be trying to want to flank this now from 2 sides, or he's going to go counter now with his Dragoon, saying, okay, so what have you got protecting your house, Mr. Terran? So he's sacking it. He knows the Nexus is going to go down. The question is, what do you have to protect yourself back home? Does he have mines incoming? Yes, he does, but they're not finished yet. The second the mines do finish, though, there we go. Mines literally just finished, and boom, laying some mines on the ground. So blocking the Terran's expansion here by moving these goons out, probably good. Knowing he's going to lose it, so there he's lost the Nexus. He's just got 2 gate production going, and he's trying his utmost to thwart the Terran's attempts to expand. Because if Terran stays on 1 base, Protoss should be able to re-establish. As soon as range comes into play, Protoss should be able to knock this bunker down and re-establish his base without too much of a problem. If he can do that and still continue to delay the Terran expansion, he's going to be in a good position. Terran, though, to my surprise, has not started a command center or a second factory, so is floating a little bit of cash. Academy is coming in, I suppose maybe to scan for DTs. I'm not quite sure on the timing on the Academy. That is a little bit weird. The tank has now shown itself, so the goons have to back out a little bit. But this economic delay has worked really, really well. So, more mines. So he's going to need an observer, I guess, before he can try and take down this bunker. So that's really going to delay him as well. That being said, when range finishes, the Nexus can go down because the goons should be able to knock this down. Now the command center starts finally with the second factory. Okay, so range goons are in play. They're going to knock down the bunker. Bye-bye. Another unit's going to move out here. Nexus goes back up. So your question you've got to ask yourself is, after he's managed to thwart the Nexus first, his command center is a tiny little bit ahead of the Nexus of the Protoss. But the Protoss has got 40 supply, 23 units, 23 workers. The Terran has got 39 supply, 26 workers. So yes, okay, Terran is a little bit ahead, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage to the Protoss as what maybe people think it should when you're able to knock down the Nexus first build. Ow! Up. Okay, so he pops that mine. Up! Pops that mine. That's just really good play. Really, really fancy. Okay, so observatory's finally done. So we can expect non-stop 2-gate production from our Protoss. Terran is looking like he wants to do a little 3-tank counter push. That being said, he hasn't yet landed and established his base. This nexus is nearly finished. An interesting one. These two players are both incredibly good. Floating in a barracks here. I just think for the sighting on when the nexus finishes. Got a nice wall of goons. And it looks like he's pushing. Here we go. So he's decided, I don't want to play a long PVT. I'm going to give this a push. I am in the lead. I've got 55 versus your 49. I'm on 2 fact power, adding a 3rd factory. I'm just establishing my base now. I can saturate that with my 28 workers. But I want to use my siege tanks to, and the observer sees what's coming, to try and take down your 7 goons. It's 7 goons in a dream. That is absolutely all. What you see is what you have. He has 2 goons over here that are just chilling, and I think they would be very handy in this battle if I'm honest. So kites back nicely, picks off the vultures, but these tanks are in play. They haven't sieged up yet, and now they're backing away a little bit, so this was actually a pretty decently held fight. The shuttle flies forward. I think it's an empty shuttle if I'm fully honest with you. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I suppose it's just posturing. A Reaver is on its way, so the support bay did finish up behind this. So maybe some Reaver counter players on the cards for sure. Terran doesn't look like they want to back up too far. Where is siege mode? It's just about to finish. Hasn't finished yet. The plan now will probably be to try and siege these tanks up. Good mine placement, forcing the goons back into a narrow choke. Now though, there are no vultures to buffer for these tanks, so the goons are a big threat. Here they come, the vultures. Now they're going to have to lay some more mines to slow them down. Tank siege up. That is a terrifying noise. Bang, bang, they shoot, but no goons go down, and one does take a serious number of hits though. This just seems to be a really committed push from Terran. He's going 3 facts, he's just pushing, and I think he wants to try and win this game in one go. Okay, so here come the Zealots and a Reaver. Nothing here. Here comes the first turret. It's going to drop a... Doesn't drop anything. He's just slowly posturing forward. Drops the Zealot on top of that tank. Drops the Reaver on top of that tank. That tank is gone. He drops the Reaver again. No. Yes, actually drops another Zealot. This mine drag somehow only kills the Zealot and not. But again, the Reaver beautifully done. So all of the tanks that we here have slowly but surely been whittled away by this Reaver. That mine, though, was really crucial. So the shuttle is gone. All of the goons are gone. Only one goon is left. He's got 4 vultures and a tank. I think the Terran player is probably going to take us down. Fantasy showing really good composure here. More goons coming down from the reinforcing gateways, but the mine placements have been so good. All of the probes have been wrecked, and I just think this is going to be too much Terran power coming out of these 3 to 4 factories. It's still 3 nines, adding a 4th factory behind this. I don't think he's going to relent on this pressure. Here comes the siege tank, here comes the turret. This is to block any shuttles coming in and being effective. More and more vultures coming in to pick off probes. It's 34 to 42. This has been a really aggressive aggro PVT, just like I promised. More mines being laid, more micro being taxed. The 2 goons that have been chilling in this bottom left corner finally come to the party, but I just don't think he's having enough goons. The body blocking here, the mines, beautifully done. Fantasy takes down Jaeun. GG, a very fun PVT on Fighting Spirit. We have one more game in this compilation. Don't go anywhere, here it is. Okay, so back on our favorite Fighting Spirit. Let's see if I can change the colors. I cannot. And I do not know these players. Hero, YBS. I don't think it's the hero that we all know and love, because that's a Zerg player. Maybe he's off racing, but it's unlikely. These are 2 very strong Korean pros though. I got this replay pack from Team Liquid. Not all of them are named clearly, or even if they are, I don't know who T1 KTY is. I don't know who Hero YBS is. But what I do know is that it is very high level, very aggro PVT, and that is the spirit of today's compilation. We've had 2 very fun games so far. Let's hope the last one lives up to the billing. So no proxies looks like gonna happen here, unfortunately, in this compilation. So what we've had is a Nexus first in the previous game that got absolutely thwarted, and we've had a 2 gate goon with Reaver drop in game 1, 1 base all in from Protoss, which I thought was beautifully executed. So this is definitely a rush compilation, a PVT rush compilation, and that is, I think, what I'm going to call this. And it has been heaps of fun bringing it to you. Hit that like button if you're having fun. Send me a comment if you want to say, hey Rabbit, that was crap, or that was good. I always appreciate feedback. I'm having fun doing this, and the feedback that I've been getting on the channel so far has been really, really rewarding. So I just wanted to say thank you to all those who have been providing comments and feedback. It really does mean a lot. Okay, so nothing unusual this time. Not a Nexus first from Protoss, so we're not going to see the same thing as we saw last game. Ironically enough, it is a cross spawn, so you would have had a better chance of it working. But of course, none of these games have anything to do with each other. It's not the same players. It's just basically random little PVTs that are somewhere between 7 and 12 minutes long that are going to give us some excitement to look forward to. Okay, so what are we going to get? So far we have very, very standard 13 core. There's not even a zealot on the way yet. Out goes the scouting probe. The barracks is on the way, and out goes the scouting SCV. And guess what, guys? This is Fighting Spirit, the most played map probably in the history of Brood War. Absolutely everybody who's ever played Starcraft has played on this map. Terran players hate it because these bridges over here. Protoss players, well, I don't like it because these areas are very vulnerable to drops, vulture drops and things like that. Everybody's got their views on whether it's a good map or not. The fact that it stood the test of time, I think, is just proof that it is a good map. I don't think the whole world of Brood War would have kept playing this map if it wasn't good. Anyway, gearing up for a factory expansion, so pretty straightforward stuff from our Terran. And if I didn't know any better, it looks like our Protoss is looking to do something a little bit strange. Reason being, he's built a zealot that's kind of just chilling here on the ramp. And that's that. A marine chased that probe a hell of a long way for some reason. Don't know why. So Terran's just setting up to do an expansion, man, which is all good. And what is our Protoss up to? He's just building a pylon, getting range. Nothing unusual at this stage. It's all good. Chasing this SCV a long way, making his goons get fit, and microing up and down his marines for fun. So the command center is on the way. Okay. It's a robo. It's a robo. Which means potentially another one base build, although he hasn't stopped building probes. So the robo before Nexus is a sign of some kind of shuttle and drop play. So let's see what we get. Terran players just seems to be doing the standard, getting himself mines. He's going to send a few vultures out onto the map. He's going to find that his Nexus, his Protoss player does not have a Nexus, and he should have a whole heap of reasons to be suspicious. Between 20 and 30 supply is where Protoss take a Nexus. It's almost always before or around about 4 minutes. So if you sending your scouting SCV here now, Mr. Terran, and you're not seeing a Nexus, you have got reasons to be suspicious. He has built an observatory and not a support bay here. So I don't know what the purpose is of the robo, unless he's just trying to be very, very safe. For a long time, and these games are a little bit older, this was the meta actually, to get your robo before Nexus, but then you skip range. So it's robo first, then you get Nexus, then you get range. This player didn't do that. He got range first, then he got a robo. So honestly, a little bit of a strange build so far, if I'm very, very honest. Out comes the vulture. The academy is in play because comsats are on the way. So it's an academy. So 2-fac academy builds. Couple of mines here. SCV trying his utmost to get in and scout what's happening, but doesn't see anything. Another gateway on the way. Man, I got so pumped up for the early robo. I even did some creepy talking into the microphone, and it was all for nothing. What the hell? Okay, so some vultures are on the map. Is he going to do a little push here off of two facts? I don't know. I don't think so. He's got no real reason to. It's a very, very even game now. 29 workers for Protoss. 48 plays 43. Terran will start to catch up now that his command centers are online. So no real concerns. Although his bunker isn't up. This could be a problem for our Terran. He's got 3 tanks, but he doesn't have siege mode. He could target down this. No, he doesn't though. He targets down the Marines. I thought he was going to target down the tanks. Picks off 2 or 3 Marines. There's 1 Marine left. There's no Marines left. Target's down a tank. If he fires it again, he's going to... Target's down. It's 2 shots. Each tank gets 2. 2 more on this tank. Oh no, he's lost all his tanks because he didn't have a bunker. That was a seriously complacent play from our Terran. He also doesn't have siege mode. He's adding another tank now. Behind this, the support bay has come up. Why do you have a medic? What was the point of having a medic? Weird. I don't know if it was like a tank bio push or what was happening. He can easily knock down this depot. I don't know what our Terran player was doing there. He didn't really have any kind of disadvantage. His build was so smooth, and yet 4 Dragoons was able to cause all heaps of havoc there by 2-shotting 4 tanks. So that last goon's going to go down, but look at the lead that Protoss has taken here. This game, I think, is just going to turn into a bit of a smack. Behind this, a Reaver is coming into play. 2 more gateways, so he's going up to 4 gates. He's got the Reaver, and I think he's going to now look to go do some shuttle harassment. As long as these goons protect this line of workers, he can't really be in any danger of any kind. He's going to try and come down this way and run here. I hope that he's awake to this. Let's have a look. I'll keep an eye on that shuttle. He's still quite a long way away from the main. Okay, so he's just laid mines here and run off. I thought he was going to try and do a backstab, but that's not the case. This mine, though, let's try and track the flight path of the shuttle to see if the mine spots him. Just by hook or by crook. I don't think so. I think he's going to fly in here relatively undetected. We'll have to see. Okay, so he flies in straight in here. And whoop! There goes the Reaver. Whoop! There goes the Scarab. Ow! 4 SCVs. Whoop! He hasn't even reacted. Boop! Another 2. Okay, so that was really good damage. That guy's gone. Where are your units to kill this Reaver? 1 tank. Here come 2 more. He's just tank man. He's got 2 shops. He doesn't know what to do with his SCVs. His SCVs all seem to have a nervous twitch. And they're running back. I would also have a nervous twitch if the Reaver was in town, that's for sure. Observer's in here, giving him good vision, so he's going to drop it again. But this time, the Vultures are ready for it. A couple of shots. Oh, he does get a few SCVs from the splash. And I think he managed to pick up the Reaver again. Yes, he did. And keep the Goon alive. Really good micro here from the Protoss player. So Terran is in a whole heap of pain in this game. Meanwhile, the Protoss is establishing a 3rd behind this. I think after that 3rd goes up and it's saturated, he's just going to mass up gates, storm the front door of our Terran and overwhelm with too many gateway units. He's already got a little cluster here. It's 4 gates. I don't know if he's going to add more tech other than speed. He is getting a Forge. He is getting a Stargazer. It does look like he may go up 2 Arbiters, but maybe that might not be necessary. Who knows? This ability to integrate Reaver drops into your play as a Protoss player just makes you so much stronger against Terran. It is unbelievable. Okay, so he's walled this off nicely, setting up beautifully for a 3rd there. So looking very strong as our Protoss. The Vulture play of our Terran's good. He's active on the map. He's keeping an eye on bases. He's laying mines where he needs to lay mines. But basically, he has got a handful of Vultures and 5 tanks. And he's just going to have a very hard time, I beg your pardon, holding a very inevitable attack. The only thing I would say is that Protoss is a little bit light on workers, but he is building at least 2 probes at a time, so he should be able to get that full saturation up so he can add more gates. I think he's going up to 6 gate now, and he could probably go up to 10 on these 3 bases once they're fully saturated and be incredibly hard to stop. Okay, so he's scanned and he kills that observer. I think just to make the life a little bit more difficult for the Protoss if he wants to do some drops and things like that. So Starport comes in, potentially to facilitate the build of vessels if he's anticipating Arbiters. When you scan and you see this, then you know Arbiters are incoming. I'm going to need detection, otherwise I am in for a world of pain. So first Arbiter's on his way. It'll be interesting to see if he waits for the Arbiter or if he uses the Arbiter as a plan B. Looks like our Terran is trying to establish a 3rd, and looks like our Protoss has smelt this out, and here comes the drop. So Reaver's going to be in here for sure. Drops right on top of that tank. That is going to be the end of that tank. That's going to be the end of that Vulture. He's drawn out 4 of his tanks here, so if he pulled some other units in from the other angle, this front door would virtually be wide open. There's only 4 tanks here. Pulls away though, but denies that expansion. The constant presence of this Protoss has been really excellent. A lot of pressure all game long. Dropship coming out. Okay. What are you going to put in the dropship is the question. 2 tanks is the answer. No? A tank and a vulture. Oh dear, here comes a lot of Protoss though. Why are you unsieging? Why are you, do you have no mines here? Oh no, the dropship gets picked off! That was so unfortunate and he just snapped GG's. Oh no! What a fun end to that. Okay, so that was a load of fun, a beautiful PVT comp. I'm Rabbit Drew, a variety broadcaster. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm here on a regular basis. Until next time, ciao for now.